Welcome back
to Marriage Beyond the Veil.
Well, I just think that it's important, to understand in a love relationship how acceptance, and we've talked about this, but acceptance of your loved one in the totality of who they are. And I love John Legend's song, All of Me. And he says, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. I'll give my all to you. Give your all to me and I'll give my all to you. But the idea, your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Sometimes I believe people have such challenge in love relationships because they're looking for perfection in someone else. And none of us bring perfection, in the midst of who we are. So understanding, loving the perfect imperfections. It's not about the fact that this person is flawless or without fault or, everything is everything that it needs to be, but loving the totality of who that individual is.
Definitely. And, I'm just thinking, because one thing about curves are always changing.
Okay.
And unfortunately, in life, nothing really ever stays the same. And so even when you talk about edges, and I just sort of got tickled because this is like edge tamer, and it was sitting here on the table. Okay. And I thought about, because now, women, the edges got to be laid down and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure that's not what he was referring to when he said edges. But, when you think about all that we do to be perfect, including, laying your edges down and, trying to keep your curves the same, but you have to love me regardless.
And again, the totality. And so, getting away from the curves and the edges, my focus is your perfect imperfections. It's not that this person necessarily is perfect in every way,
right,
but looking at how they may be perfect for you. And so being perfect for me, I understand that, you are flawed like I'm flawed. You have idiosyncrasies like I have idiosyncrasies. But it's about having that ability to really connect and understand one another. And again, it's the acceptance that, you know what? I realize that I've got issues, I've got challenges, and so I need to acknowledge the same in anyone else that I may be interested in. They have challenges, they have issues, but are their imperfections perfect for me?
Yeah, and I was just going to say, because when you say perfect imperfections, I always think back to when I was talking to my son, and he was saying that his now wife, was perfect for him. In that they had a lot of different things that was going on that was very similar. But when you listen to what they talk about, a lot of that stuff would have been imperfections to other people. But for them, they were perfect imperfections.
Well, and I think it's those interesting things, those things that make someone different, which makes the relationship interesting. You want the compatibility, right? But you don't want to, it's not that you're like, we're identical in what we like and who we are and how we behave. No, you're not.
No, you need somebody that's sort of different from you, because otherwise it gets very boring. It gets very mundane. If you think about if you were married to someone who was identical to you, that you did everything the same way, it probably would make for a boring marriage.
So understanding, being able to accept the totality of who you're in love with, that means they're perfect imperfections. Again, we all have imperfections, but are they perfect for you? Until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same.
Have a good evening.